Welcome to Thriving Against the Odds. I'm Cheryl Johnson, your host for the podcast Thriving Against the Odds. And today it is going to be a great show because we have a male breast cancer survivor, Mr. Wendell Sanders. And I'd like to welcome you, Wendell, to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so ironic how we met during our Paint the Town Pink recent walk that we had. And when I met you and you told me that you were a male breast cancer survivor, it just really, since I've been here for 16 years, you're probably only the third male breast cancer survivor that I've, physically met and had an opportunity to speak with and talk with. But I'd like to just thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're busy, but being able to help educate other males about breast cancer.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much again. And but let me tell you, audience, Mr. Wendell won second place in his age group, 60 plus, and he doesn't look 60 plus, but he won second place in the 5K running. But as you can tell, he's very active and very in shape male. But just tell us a little bit, Wendell, about yourself.
Did 20 years in the military, retired Army.
Thank you for your service.
Yes,
I know
ma'am.
Veterans Day is coming up pretty soon, but we just thank you so much for your service.
Appreciate that. Thank you. From there, I worked for the Department of Defense as a contractor for another 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, retired from that.
Oh,
And
wow.
Father of 4 daughters.
Oh, you're a girl dad.
Yeah. 12 grandchildren.
Wow.
No great-grandchildren on the
greats
horizon
yet.
yet.
Okay.
But,
okay.
yeah, been married 15 years.
Okay.
That's where I met my wife, right here in Columbus, Georgia. I got sent here on a mission and got stuck here and just ran into her and has been here ever since.
And
Yeah.
been here in Columbus ever since. Wow. So where were you from originally?
Originally from Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio, Columbus, Georgia. That sounds, that's probably a divine appointment. Yeah.
I've never served any time on Fort Benning, which is right here, or Fort Moore, and most of my time was Southeast Georgia, Fort Stewart.
Fort Stewart, right. Okay. What was your MOS?
I was 63 Bravo mechanic.
Mechanic. Okay,
Yep.
cool. So you know how to tinker and fix some things.
Worked on everything.
Well, I know your wife enjoys that because you can fix stuff at the house and don't have to pay anybody. So that's great. that's great. So you have a big family. So I guess during the holidays, the house is full.
No, we actually travel during the holidays.
Okay. So
yeah.
you get to travel
we
to
travel.
them. Yeah.
Like usually we go to Ohio around the 20th of October for my father's birthday, but we've scaled that back to Thanksgiving now since we do it up there.
Right.
And he just turned 89, so
awesome.
Hopefully longevity is running in my family.
Absolutely. We gonna claim it. I get it. I do understand. Well, that's great. Well, we want to talk with you about your journey, and as I said, the name of the program is Thriving Against the Odds, because I like to say you're not a survivor, you all are thrivers, because you're going through and you're thriving and you're living and you're moving and you're still going on, with life during the process. But tell us about, or tell the audience about, what happened, how did you feel, what was going on to get you to the diagnosis of breast cancer?
Okay, well, from the start, I used to weigh like 294 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So I started working out, exercising, I dropped all the weight down to about 200 pounds, and that's when I noticed it was a spot on my right nipple.
Okay.
Because I was actually getting in shape to go on a cruise, getting rid of the dad bod and all that.
Okay.
So, I noticed the spot, and it didn't bust, it didn't hurt, it was painless. And I said, might need to get this checked out because it doesn't look right.
What year was that?
This was 2023.
2023, just 2 years ago, so
2
recent.
years ago,
Okay.
yeah. So I went out to Martin Army, and they did all the tests and everything, the mammogram, the x-rays, the ultrasound, and they finally did a biopsy, and they sent it off to Walter Reed.
Okay.
And from what I was told, it was sent to the American Cancer Society because it was rare, like we said, the 1%. And came back from the cruise, they called me in the office up at the doctor's office, and they said, we don't know how to tell you this, but you have male breast cancer.
Wow.
And nobody up here has ever done a male breast cancer surgery before, but we'll get you through it.
Wow.
So they brought me in the office, showed me all the charts, all the diagnoses, and told me what came back, and told me they can cut my nipple and areola off. And I was like, for real? As hard as I done worked to get this back?
Right. My God, I got this,
So,
wow.
and this was on a Monday, and they said we can do post-op or pre-op on Wednesday and surgery on Friday. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all talking about chopping off a body part and let's hold on.
Sure.
So,
you had to process that.
Yeah, so I left and I called my wife, went to voicemail, so then I called my daughter next. And she said, you ain't turned around yet? You still got 9 more graduations to go through, Dad.
Okay.
So I went back and told him, yeah, let's do this. And
Okay.
yeah, I was nervous, I was scared, and I was, I even started Googling and trying to find other men that went through the process.
Oh, my goodness. Google can sometimes be your friend, but sometimes it can make things so doom and gloom.
Yeah. And it did. It had its high and low points.
Yeah.
But it also prepared me for everything.
Prepared you. Okay. Gotcha. So you were diagnosed on a Monday. You did your pre-op on a Wednesday. And then Friday, you were having surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. That is a lot to process within a short period of time. But I guess according to the doctor's urgency was what they were moving with this urgency.
They removed the tumor and a lymph node from my right. Yeah.
Okay.
Sent it all back off to sent it all back off to other labs to be tested and everything. Yeah.
And so after that, when they came back with your treatment plan, after that they decided, okay, you still did you have to go through chemo, radiation? What's the kind of process for your story?
From there, when they came back with the negative, everything was good to go. They said no chemo, no radiation, but I did have to go on a medication for 5 years.
Okay. Okay.
And just like everything else, like I said, I'm full-blown retired. I do my research, and this is a crazy thing. Sometimes things line up in the weirdest way. When I finally sat down and quit working, I used my post-9/11 GI Bill. And for some odd reason, from being a guy that worked on Jeeps to M1 tanks, I chose the medical field.
Wow.
So that also helped. And just for no reason.
Yeah.
So I chose a medical field, and I got a bachelor's in health records and an associates in healthcare management and all of that. So I knew all the terms, terminology, body parts, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That is a divine appointment or intervention or what have you, for you to go from one extreme to the human body.
And like I said, it was because of my job. I was out there, I gained all that weight, and I've actually been managing insulin-dependent diabetes since 2002.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been on insulin since 2002, but once I changed my activities and eating habits, I was able to get all that under control
Get that under control. Yeah. Wow, that is, with you being in the 1%, and that is truly a blessing, that you didn't have to go through, chemo or radiation, but as a male breast cancer thriver, what do you want other males to know? What would you like to, share? Because you've got the open field, we've got this podcast here, and I know you shared with me earlier that you don't mind sharing your story so someone else could perhaps, have knowledge.
I've met a lot of guys that ask me how I found my tumor and everything, and they'll come back and tell me stories like, I had something on me like that years ago, but I never got it checked out. But they've also had colon cancer or prostate cancer. And from what I've researched and learned, it all starts from the lymph nodes and can spread anywhere. So don't be afraid to go get it checked out. I stay on top of my doctors. I stay on top of my labs.
Sure. And as a male, or just as anyone, you have to be your own health advocate. You have to be your own advocate because you know your body. And if there's anything abnormal, anything that something just doesn't feel right, I just don't feel right, get it checked out.
You have to, yes.
Because prevention early detection is key. And with you, going and doing that early on, had you just waited, then of course it could have gotten in other lymph nodes and, spread throughout. And then you would have possibly had to have chemo and radiation or what have you. Yep. That's awesome. So the diagnosis was in your right breast, infiltrating ductal carcinoma stage 1. That's a long medical term. Can you break that down in just the basic, terms for the average person?
Basically, the tumor was on my right breast, around my areola and nipple.
Okay.
And the way it was explained to me, even though I was in shape and had tightened up and everything, everybody has a breast.
Yes.
They said you may not see it, but you have one.
Yes.
And he went through the whole 9 yards and explained to me what layers they would remove and what would be gone when I came back. And I honestly don't notice it unless I look in the mirror for it. Because I'm a guy. You don't use it for nothing.
Guys don't look at that stuff.
Yeah, you don't use it for nothing until something like this happens.
Sure. So was there a point in time that you were embarrassed as a male? Because like you said, I'm a man. I'm working out. I'm doing all this stuff, and breast cancer. Me?
I almost broke. Yep. I almost broke. And I remember I had broken before and fixed myself from the diabetes and the weight loss, and I was like, this ain't nothing. I'm not getting fat again. That was my thing.
Right.
I almost broke when the bandages was removed. Of course, I still had the drain bag on me.
Yes.
I looked in the mirror, and it hurt for a little bit. And then when we went to go get the bag removed, the nurse was like, well, this is the painful part. I said, just snatch it out. She said, snatch it out? No. I said, yeah, that's what you got to do. I've already researched it. Go ahead and snatch it out.
Okay.
And she said, you're the first person that never flinched. I said, because I wanted it out of me. So it was hurtful at first seeing it. Yeah. And, people walk up to me in the gym and they say, I seen you on TV, because I've done a live news interview couple of years ago. Last year, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And they say, I seen you on the news. I couldn't even tell because it's just the bottom half is missing, and everything else still moves and jumps. And
the pectorals are still there and what have you.
Yeah, it's harder to get it even. Have to go heavier on this side, but it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I remember it was 2 weeks after they took the bag off me. My nurse, you said you knew her, Miss Mary?
Yes.
She called me and she said, Mr. Sanders, how you feeling? I said, I'm doing great. She said, well, you can start doing a little light dusting and a little sweeping maybe around the house. And I said, well, can I start walking again, Miss Mary? She said, yeah, you can walk about a half mile. I said, I'm 4 miles away from my car.
You had already started.
She said, I knew you was going to be hard-headed, Mr. Wendell. I said, I can't stop, Miss Mary.
Oh, my. And once you start, I'm assuming, on that weight loss journey and on that healthcare journey, it's just hard to kind of get away. But your support system, you had to have your support system. And obviously your wife and your children, your daughters, being a girl dad, was there. Your support system. Just tell us how, or tell the others how important it is to have support during your
very
journey.
important. Yeah. First and foremost, my wife and my girls always been there. Always been there. My wife, all the driving, all the appointments, all the worry she went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't my first rodeo with her. I woke up at 2 o'clock one morning, stood up and my leg shattered. She said she ain't had nothing to do with it. I kind of sort of believe her, but
Oh
yeah.
my! Your leg shattered?
Yeah, it was sleep apnea. When I woke up, my brain didn't tell my body, my 290-pound body, fast enough, hey, this guy's awake, he's standing up, and my leg shattered. So she spent a year dragging me back and forth to the hospital for all that.
Wow.
And she said, "You're hard-headed." I said, "What you mean?" She said, "I never told you this, but the doctor said you're not supposed to ever run again, and you're running." I said, "I'm not stopping." Yeah, 13 screws and 2 plates. But
And you're running.
yeah, and my daughters, awesome. They check on me every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do your babies live here? I call them babies, but do your daughters live here, or they live various places out of state? And
I have one in Hinesville, Georgia.
Okay.
She's 3.5 hours
away. Yeah.
And she comes through here. I go up there and see all of them. Then my other daughter's in the Navy in Norfolk.
Oh.
Yeah, I just got through visiting her. She took me on her battleship.
Did
where she works at
Okay, which one was it?
the USS Harry Truman.
Harry Truman. My brother retired after 40 years in the Navy, and we've been on a couple of them. I can't even remember, but I don't know if he served on the Harry Truman or not. But he was stationed in Norfolk.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Those ships, it was amazing when I walked on there.
It is. It's like, wow. Yeah.
They took videos of me working out in the gym on the ship
Oh,
and everything.
did you? Oh, you had to get that working out in.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Awesome. Awesome.
But yeah, they've been my main survivors, and I got 2 older grandchildren. They call and check on me all the time.
Of
You know, the
course.
little ones, they call and ask
Yeah.
for the Disney password.
Of
but the other ones,
What's the password? Yeah.
the other
but-
ones, they write on me too.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And, having, like I said earlier, having that support system is so, so, so important when you're going through your journey. And I was noticing your shirt. It says pink. I wear pink and blue because men get breast cancer too. And that is such, a powerful statement. And I know when you wear it, you probably get stopped all the time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get stopped all the time, but that's because you're providing education to others that it's needed. And did the doctors tell you, and this will probably be my last question, just want to know, that when the doctors, did they tell you that in men that have breast cancer, is it possibly hereditary? Are there other cancers? Or, for instance, if your mother or someone, familiar history, was that part of the diagnosis? Sharing.
My mother passed of a form of cancer.
Okay.
And once again, with my medical training, I was able to read her medical records and everything. So I took them to my oncologist, and we went over the records and everything, and no relation, no sign of it in my family. I called my father, my uncles. They traced it back to my great-great-grandparents, all that. Nobody but me.
Nobody but you.
Yeah, and my daughters have to get mammograms now.
I was going to say at an earlier age. So if you were diagnosed, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
59.
Okay,
Yeah.
59. So they would probably start them at, 10 years. It says normally 10 years earlier if they were younger. So now that their father's been diagnosed, it would be important for them. Did they encourage any of them to do the genetic testing as well?
Yeah. Both of my daughters have been through that already.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and no signs, no symptoms, are good to go.
Yeah, that's a blessing. And they just need to just continue to do those first monthly breast exams, and that's everyone, every woman, or we need to make sure that we are doing our monthly self breast exams, and making sure that we get our mammograms, our annual mammograms. So, Mr. Wendell, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience? The West Central Georgia Cancer Coalition, we are here to provide outreach, education, and advocacy for others. We have our Neighbors Helping Neighbors Cancer Assistance Fund for those persons who may be diagnosed with cancer, who are going through active treatment, and they need assistance with their lights, their gas, their mortgage, transportation assistance. But also, on the other arm, we provide education, and this is one of these opportunities that we're providing education to men in our community on men and breast cancer, which, as we know that it's 1% of males, which is a very small population who can get breast cancer. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to Thriving Against the Odds, our podcast, and I'd like to again thank our Army veteran, male breast cancer survivor, Mr. Wendell Sanders. Thank you so much, Mr. Wendell.
Thank you for having me.